Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the exhilarating reality of 2026. We have transcended the era of mere idols and entered the age of industrial titans, where the seven kings of K-pop haven't just returned to the global stage, they have evolved into walking, breathing economies that rival small nations. We all know the music that defined a generation. We know the blood, sweat, and tears of the past. But have you ever stopped to truly calculate the sheer, terrifying weight of their empire right now? This isn't just about fame or Spotify streams anymore. It is about a financial velocity that is almost impossible for the human mind to comprehend. Asterisk. Imagine blinking your eyes tick-tock and in that split second, earning what most people strive to make in an entire month. Asterisk. We are diving deep into the heavily guarded vaults of Bangtan to reveal a hierarchy that has shifted, twisted, and exploded in value over the last few years. Who has leveraged their military hiatus into a tech investment empire? Who is dominating the luxury fashion houses to the point of owning actual equity? The gap between number 7 and number 1 is not just a margin of error. It is a canyon of difference defined by smart investments, relentless royalties, and global influence. We are talking about a paycheck so massive that the member at the very top can literally buy a brand new iPhone every 10 minutes without even glancing at their bank balance. It sounds like science fiction, doesn't it? But the math simply does not lie. From the cramped underground studios of 2013 to the high-stakes boardrooms of 2026, who has truly mastered the art of the deal? Is your bias the financial king? Or will the quiet underdog surprise you with a fortune built in the shadows? Prepare your hearts and your calculators because we are about to break down the astronomical salary per second of BTS in 2026. Number 7. Jin, the timeless visual emperor, the alchemist of passive income. We kick off this astronomical countdown with the eldest member, the reliable anchor, and the man who literally defies the laws of aging, Kim Seokjin, also known to the world as Jin. Now, you might be wondering, how does the worldwide handsome, the very face of luxury and grace, land at number 7? Do not let this ranking fool you for even a microsecond. Because being last on a list of billionaires is like being the poorest king in a room full of emperors. It is a distinction that only exists in the stratosphere of the elite. By 2026, Jin has completely transformed his portfolio from standard idol revenue into a fortress of diversified high-end lifestyle investments that reflect his sophisticated yet playful personality. Think back to when he returned from the military. While the world was screaming for his return, Jin was quietly maneuvering into spaces that guarantee wealth without the grueling sweat of constant touring. We are talking about the Jin effect that has now matured into a stable economic law. In 2026, his collaboration with major food conglomerates, specifically in the ramyun and traditional alcohol sectors, has moved beyond simple commercials to equity-based partnerships. Imagine earning a royalty every time a packet of spicy noodles is opened anywhere in Asia. That is the level of ubiquity we are discussing. But it goes deeper. His obsession with gaming, particularly his legendary relationship with MapleStory, has evolved into a lucrative consulting and creative direction role. He isn't just playing the game anymore, he is helping shape the virtual economies within it, earning a cut from digital transactions that occur 24/7, even while he is sleeping in his Hanam-dong penthouse. This is the genius of Seokjin. He monetizes his hobbies. His salary per second in 2026 is fueled heavily by these joy-based investments. While other members might be grinding in studios or flying across continents for fashion weeks, Jin has mastered the art of the soft power income. We also cannot ignore his dominance in the high jewelry sector. His prolonged ambassadorship with brands like Fred has likely renewed into a legacy contract by now, commanding fees that rival the GDP of small islands. Every time he waves his hand, the glint of diamonds isn't just fashion. It's a walking billboard that generates sales spikes in Paris, Milan, and New York instantaneously. Furthermore, his solo discography, including the astronomical success of The Astronaut and his subsequent solo projects, continues to rake in steady streaming revenue, which acts as the bedrock of his daily earnings. But why is he at number 7? It is largely a matter of choice and lifestyle pacing. In 2026, sources suggest that Jin has prioritized a balance between work and life, choosing select, high-impact variety appearances, and luxury shoots over the relentless, volume-based schedules of his younger bandmates. He is the master of working smarter, not harder. His income ticker doesn't jump erratically, it flows like a calm, wide river, massive, unstoppable, and deep. If we break down the math of his 2026 earnings, combining his HYBE shareholder dividends, his intellectual property rights from his songwriting, his appearance fees, which have skyrocketed due to his variety show genius, and his private real estate appreciation, Jin is generating roughly $0.68 to $0.85 every single second. Does that sound small? Let's put that into perspective. In the time it took you to read this sentence, Jin just earned enough to buy a premium coffee. In the time it takes to watch a 30-second YouTube ad, he has earned enough to buy a high-end video game. By the time he finishes a single meal, he has earned more than the average person makes in months. It is a staggering reality where his mere existence generates capital. He represents the dream of financial freedom, the ability to say no to work he doesn't want to do, and yes to playing games for 10 hours, all while his bank account swells by tens of thousands of dollars a day. He is the ultimate case study in long-term brand stability. He proves that you don't need to be the loudest in the room to be the one holding the checkbook. His wealth is quiet, elegant, and infused with a sense of humor, much like the man himself. But here is the chilling question that sets the stage for the rest of the list. If the man who treats multi-million-dollar contracts like side quests is only at number 7, what kind of financial monsters are lurking in the top 6? If Jin's passive income is this heavy, what happens when we look at the members who have been aggressively expanding into global tech, fashion design, and production credits? The gap is about to widen, the stakes are about to get higher, and the numbers are about to get absolutely dizzying. So, take a deep breath. Appreciate the calm luxury of the worldwide handsome, because we are about to step into the turbulence of the high earners who never sleep. Number 6. RM, the cultural titan, the guardian of billions in intellectual property. If Jin represents the timeless stability of wealth, then the man sitting at number 6 is the very architect of the entire BTS foundation, the leader whose pen strokes literally print money, Kim Namjoon, the formidable RM. You might be gasping, the leader is only at number 6? But listen closely, because this is where the nuance of salary per second gets incredibly fascinating in the landscape of 2026. Namjoon's financial structure is fundamentally different from the rest. It is the difference between active income and intellectual legacy. By 2026, RM has solidified his position not just as a musician, but as one of South Korea's most influential art patrons and cultural ambassadors. While others are filming back-to-back commercials, RM is likely bidding on a Basquiat or a rare moonjar at Christie's, curating a private collection that appreciates in value while he sleeps. His wealth is heavy. It sits in tangible, history-defining assets rather than just liquid cash flow, which slightly adjusts his per-second ranking on this specific liquid salary list. But do not mistake this for a lack of power. In 2026, RM stands as a giant in the Korea Music Copyright Association, KOMCA. Think about it. He has credits on the vast majority of the BTS discography. Every time Spring Day plays in a karaoke bar in Seoul, every time butter is used in a Super Bowl commercial, every time a new fan streams Indigo, a digital coin drops directly into Namjoon's pocket. He doesn't have to lift a finger. The systems he built 10 years ago are paying him today. This is the definition of sleeping money. We are estimating that his copyright royalties alone generate a steady, rhythmic pulse of income that beats faster than a human heart. Then, factor in his exclusive, highbrow partnerships. In 2026, his relationship with Bottega Veneta or similar quiet luxury brands has likely evolved into a creative dictatorship where he isn't just a model, but a consultant, earning fees that reflect his brain, not just his face. But why is he number 6? Because RM turns down money. Yes, you heard that right. He is the member most likely to reject a $10 million endorsement deal if it doesn't align with his values or artistic integrity. He trades potential fast cash for long-term prestige, which keeps his per-second velocity slightly lower than the pop commercial juggernauts of the group, but makes his portfolio bulletproof. We must also talk about his potential role within HYBE's corporate structure in 2026. There are whispers, strong rumors in the industry, that RM has taken on a more formal advisory role, perhaps even guiding the next generation of artists, which would come with a substantial executive salary and stock options that vest over time. Imagine the scene. RM sitting in his studio, surrounded by priceless sculptures, reading a book, while his bank account quietly inhales royalties from 200-plus songs. His estimated earnings in 2026 sit somewhere around the $0.90 to $1.10 per second mark. Let's break that down emotionally. In the time it takes you to take a single deep breath, RM has earned $1. In the minute it takes you to tie your shoes, he has earned $60 enough for a nice dinner. In an hour of reading a book, he earns $3,600. That is the power of the pen. That is the power of being the author of the century's biggest hits. He literally monetized his diary entries and turned his deepest insecurities into a fortune. It is a reflective, intellectual kind of wealth that commands respect. He isn't buying flash, he's buying history. He's buying immortality. And yet, the terrifying reality of this list is that even with this god-tier level of passive income, there are 5 members who are generating cash even faster. Who could possibly outpace the man who owns the rights to the music itself? The answer lies in the explosive, high-octane world of global touring, mass-market fashion dominance, and the sheer viral velocity of the Maknae line and the Rap line's touring monsters. RM built the castle, but the next members on this list are the ones charging admission at the gates 24/7. So, if the King of Wisdom is at number 6, we are about to enter the realm of the Kings of Commerce. Prepare yourself, because the numbers are about to jump from impressive to absurd. Number 5. Suga, the Hand of Midas, the Shadow Emperor of Global Beats, the producer who prints royalties while breathing. If RM is the guardian of the culture, then the man sitting at number 5 is the mercenary engine that drives the industry's sound, the ferocious genius who has turned his studio into a literal goldmine, Min Yoongi, the dangerous August D, the one and only Suga. We are stepping up the financial ladder now, moving from the passive wealth of intellectual property to the aggressive, high-velocity income of a man who works like a machine, possessed by the god of music. By 2026, Suga hasn't just returned from the military, he has expanded his territory from being a K-pop idol to becoming the most sought-after producer in the global music scene, commanding fees that would make Western super producers blush. Why is he ahead of his leader? Because in 2026, Suga is playing a dual game that multiplies his income streams exponentially. He is both the superstar on stage and the mastermind behind the curtain for other times superstars. Imagine this scenario. A top-tier American pop star wants a guaranteed hit in 2026. They don't call Max Martin anymore, they call Min PD. And the Yoongi tax, the upfront fee just to get him to open a project file, has skyrocketed into the 6-figure range before a single note is even recorded. Every beat he drops is a sonic asset that appreciates instantly. We have to talk about the August D phenomenon. His solo tours are no longer just concerts. They are visceral, stadium-filling religious experiences for fans who crave the raw, uncensored side of BTS. In 2026, a limited run of August D The Resurrection shows would generate ticket sales that rival entire festival lineups, and because he is the primary writer and producer, but Resurrection as his auction. The slice of the pie he keeps is significantly larger than your average performer. But let's dig deeper into the portfolio that puts him at number 5. We cannot ignore his shrewd mastery of brand partnerships. His alliance with the NBA and luxury houses like Valentino has matured into a lifestyle dominance. Every time he sits courtside at a Lakers game in 2026, he isn't just watching basketball. The exposure value he generates is monetized, calculated, and paid out. Rumors in the financial districts of Seoul also suggest that by 2026, Suga has likely expanded his Suchwita brand into a tangible empire, perhaps a high-end liquor line, or a premium production consultancy firm. Imagine a Min Yoongi Reserve whiskey selling out globally in seconds. That is the kind of power he holds. He doesn't just sell music, he sells a taste, a mood, a relentless work ethic. While other members might take a month off to vacation in Hawaii, Suga is likely locked in his genius lab, converting his insomnia into hard currency. His work ethic is his greatest asset. He produces while he tours, he writes while he rests. This constant output creates a stacking effect in his bank account. We estimate his 2026 salary per second to be hovering aggressively around the $1.45 to $1.60 mark. Let's feel the weight of that. In the time it takes you to unlock your phone, Suga has earned $1.50. In the duration of a 3-minute song, he has earned roughly $270, enough to buy a decent pair of headphones. By the time he wakes up from a nap, he has earned more than most people's annual bonus. It is a terrifying, awe-inspiring accumulation of wealth born from pure, unadulterated talent and grit. He is the proof that if you sharpen your skills enough, the world will pay you any price you ask. He is the hand of Midas. Everything he touches turns to gold. Whether it's a Samsung beat, a rap verse for a rookie group, or a simple selfie wearing a beanie. But here's the twist that makes this list so intense. Suga is the workaholic king, yet he is only at number 5. How is it possible that the man who works the hardest is not the richest? The answer lies in the sheer, explosive, viral scalability of the members ahead of him. We are entering the territory of members who have transcended musician status to become global icons of fashion, mass media, and influence that operates on a scale distinct from pure production credits. The top 4 are not just earning from what they times do asterisk, they are earning from times who they are, times to the mass consumer market in a way that defies logic. If the genius producer is here, who on earth is conquering the podium? Prepare yourself, because the financial velocity is about to shift from production-heavy to viral insanity. Number 4, J-Hope, the sunshine mogul, the god of streetwear luxury, the man whose dance moves shake the stock market. We have now breached the top 4, and the atmosphere in the room just shifted from wealthy to imperial. If the previous members were building castles, who is the man at number 4 owns the land the castles are built on? We are talking about the living embodiment of kinetic energy, the dance commander, the fashion icon who turned the streets of Paris into his personal runway Jung Ho-seok, the unstoppable J-Hope. You might remember him as the bright smile of the group, the mood maker, the I'm your hope, but in the financial landscape of 2026, you need to address him as Chairman Jung. Why is he sitting comfortably at number 4? Surpassing even the prodigious production wealth of Suga? Because J-Hope has mastered the most lucrative triangle in the modern entertainment economy: high-end luxury, massive global touring, and real estate dominance. Let's strip away the stage lights for a moment and look at the ledger. By 2026, J-Hope's relationship with Louis Vuitton has transcended a simple ambassadorship. He is arguably the most influential male figure in luxury streetwear on the planet. When Pharrell Williams took over, J-Hope was right there, not just as a face, but as a muse. In 2026, industry insiders speculate that his contract involves revenue-sharing clauses for collections he promotes. Imagine a world where every time a specific LV bag is sold in Tokyo, Shanghai, or Los Angeles, a percentage of that sale travels digitally to Hobie's account. That is equity power, and it is far more lucrative than a flat fee. But the real engine of his 2026 wealth is the Hope World Tour. After his historic Lollapalooza headline set years ago, promoters realized that J-Hope is a one-man festival. In 2026, he isn't just performing, he is headlining global stadiums as a solo act, commanding appearance fees that rival the biggest Western pop stars. A single night of J-Hope on stage in 2026 generates revenue in merchandise alone that could fund a small startup. We are talking about Jack-in-the-Box hoodies, Hope-on-the-Street sneakers, and exclusive tour gear flying off the shelves at a velocity that defies retail logic. His solo brand is electric, colorful, and wildly profitable because it appeals to both the hardcore army and the general streetwear hypebeasts. Now, let's talk about the asset class where J-Hope has always been the silent king: real estate. It is an open secret in Seoul that J-Hope has the sharpest eye for property among the members. He was buying luxury apartments in the prestigious Trimage complex before it became the standard for idols. By 2026, his portfolio has likely expanded into commercial real estate owning buildings in the trendy districts of Seongsu-dong or Hanam-dong, where the land value has tripled. While other members might spend on art or gaming, J-Hope parks his wealth in concrete and glass, assets that appreciate while he sleeps. This landlord income provides a floor of stability that is practically unbreakable. He is earning rent from high-end boutiques and tech startups renting his spaces, adding a layer of old money vibe to his new money swag. Furthermore, his documentary series and dance mentorship programs in 2026 have created a new stream of edutainment income. He isn't just dancing, he is teaching the world times to dance, monetizing his expertise through exclusive masterclasses that cost a premium to access. So, what is the number? What is the cost of the sunshine? In 2026, combining his touring revenue, his fashion empire dividends, his massive real estate appreciation, and his music royalties, J-Hope is generating an estimated $2.10 to $2.35 every single second. Let's visualize that. Click your fingers. That's $2. Click again. $4. In the time it takes to tie your shoelaces, J-Hope has earned enough to buy a high-end steak dinner. In the time it takes to listen to chicken noodle soup, he has earned nearly $600. In a single hour of rehearsing his choreography, he earns over $8,000. It is a vibrant, explosive kind of wealth that matches his personality. He is making money with a smile, turning his natural charisma into a currency that trades globally 24 hours a day. He proves that being the nice guy and the hardest worker can coexist with being a ruthless financial powerhouse. He is the bridge between the artistic integrity of the Hyung line and the viral explosion of the Maknae line. But here is the shocker, the absolute cliffhanger that should make your palms sweat. J-Hope, the festival god, the luxury icon, the real estate tycoon, is only times at number 4. There are still 3 members left. 3 members who have somehow found a way to generate money faster than the man who conquered Lollapalooza. Who are they? How have they tapped into a level of viral consumerism that surpasses high fashion and real estate? We are entering the Maknae line territory, a zone where logic breaks down and pure, unadulterated fan obsession drives economies. The gap between number 4 and number 3 is thin, but the gap in brand hysteria is about to explode. Get ready, because the next member on the list doesn't just sell products, he sells out the entire inventory of the world in seconds. Number 3. Jimin, the global it boy, the Prince of Dior, the man who converts charm into hard currency faster than a stock exchange. We have now entered the sacred territory of the top 3, the holy trinity of the modern entertainment economy, and the air in here is getting thin not because of altitude, but because the sheer density of wealth is suffocating. If number 4 was the king of streetwear, number 3 is the emperor of high fashion, the man whose very name is a trigger word for economic stimulus packages across Europe and Asia. We are talking about the enchantress, the stage genius, the one and only Park Jimin. Why is he sitting on the bronze throne of this illustrious list? Because in 2026, the Jimin effect is no longer just a fandom joke, it is a recognized economic phenomenon taught in business schools. When Jimin wears a sweater, it doesn't just sell out, the company's stock price jumps. When he drinks a specific beverage, the factory has to run 24/7 to meet demand. This is the power of conversion rate, and Jimin is the undisputed king of it. By 2026, his partnerships with Dior and Tiffany & Co. have evolved into some of the most lucrative contracts in the history of fashion. We are not talking about a standard modeling fee. Rumors swirl in 2026 that Jimin's contract includes equity stakes or sales-based royalties for the collections he fronts. Imagine earning a percentage of every Lady Dior bag sold in a fiscal quarter just because you held it in a magazine spread. That is the level of soft power monetization he has achieved. He isn't just a face, he is the financial anchor for these historic houses. But let's look at his musical empire in 2026. Following the massive success of his solo albums Face and Muse, Jimin has established himself as a singular pop entity distinct from the group. His 2026 Filter the World tour was likely an arena-sized spectacle of contemporary dance and vocals that commanded ticket prices higher than almost any other act due to the intimacy and artistic prestige associated with his brand. The merchandise sales alone, custom jewelry, high-end apparel, artistic photo books generate revenue streams that flow like a tsunami. We must also consider his fandom, the mighty PJMS. They are not just fans, they are a mobilized philanthropic and economic force. In 2026, Jimin has harnessed this power for massive charity projects and impact investing, where his name attached to a cause brings in millions, cementing his status as a global leader, which in turn raises his appearance fees for corporate events to astronomical levels. Furthermore, let's discuss his real estate and private investments. Known for his sophisticated taste, it is highly probable that by 2026, Jimin has expanded his property portfolio beyond the 9-1 Hanam complex into international markets, perhaps a penthouse in Paris or a quiet retreat in Swiss Alps, assets that hold value against inflation. He is also suspected to be a silent investor in South Korea's booming beauty and skincare tech industry. Every time a new glass skin technology trends, there is a chance Jimin's portfolio is getting a bump. His wealth is elegant, sharp, and incredibly liquid because brands are willing to pay anything for immediate access to his influence. He doesn't need to produce 100 songs, he just needs to be Jimin. So, what is the cost of perfection? What is the price of the angel? In 2026, when we combine his unprecedented luxury royalties, his touring income, his streaming giants, and his investment dividends, Jimin is generating an estimated $3.15 to $3.50 every single second. Let's pause and let that sink into your soul. In the time it took you to read Park Jimin, he earned $3. In the 10 seconds it takes for him to run his hand through his hair, he has earned $35, enough for a taxi ride. In the 3 minutes of performing Who, he has earned over $600. By the time he finishes a 2-hour concert, he has earned roughly $25,000 just from his base salary rate asterisk, not counting the ticket sales themselves. It is a breathtaking, almost terrifying efficiency of wealth. He is making money by existing, by being beautiful, by being talented. He represents the pinnacle of idol value where the person themselves is the most valuable product on earth. And yet, logic defies us again. If the man who owns the fashion industry is only at number 3, what kind of monsters are left? Who could possibly generate more velocity than the global it boy? We are down to the final 2. The gap between them is razor thin, a battle between the king of virality and the king of everything. The numbers are about to leave the atmosphere and enter the galaxy. Prepare your hearts, because number 2 is going to shake the very ground you walk on. Number 2. V, the Renaissance Prince of Luxury, the man whose face is the most expensive billboard on earth. We have reached the penultimate peak, the silver medalist of this financial Olympics, and we are now staring directly into the eyes of a man who has transcended the definition of a pop star to become a global cultural artifact. We are talking about the visual god, the jazz enthusiast, the man who can crash Instagram servers with a single black and white selfie, Kim Tae-young, the mesmerizing V. If Jimin is the prince of fashion, V is the king of the entire luxury lifestyle ecosystem. Why is he sitting at number 2, edging out his soulmate? Because in 2026, Tae-young has unlocked a level of value per pixel that is statistically unprecedented in human history. Let's talk about the Tae-young economy. In 2026, his contract with Celine and Cartier isn't just a sponsorship, it is a symbiotic financial merger. When V walks into a room in Paris, the media impact value, MIV, generated in that single hour often exceeds the annual marketing budget of mid-sized companies. Brands don't just pay him to wear clothes, they pay him to exist, times in them, effectively renting his aura to elevate their heritage. We are estimating that his retainer fees for these top-tier luxury houses have shattered every ceiling known to the Asian entertainment market, likely including stock options or lifetime ambassador dividends that pay out regardless of his activity level. But the real monster in V's bank account in 2026 is his digital dominance. Let's not forget, he holds the title for the most valuable Instagram account in the world. In 2026, a single sponsored post on his feed, just one photo, maybe of a sunset or a blurry wine glass, commands a fee that could buy a luxury car. He doesn't need to tour for 6 months to make millions, he just needs to press post. This efficiency of income is terrifying. While other artists are sweating on stage, V is generating GDP-level revenue while listening to vinyl records in his living room. Furthermore, let's look at his potential return to acting. By 2026, industry insiders predict V has taken on a select, high-prestige role, possibly in a global OTT blockbuster, think times Squid Game times level, or a Hollywood crossover. His fee per episode would easily make him the highest-paid actor in South Korean history, shattering the record set by veterans like Kim Soo-hyun. Why? Because casting V guarantees a global audience of 100 million people instantly. That guarantee is worth billions to production studios, and V collects a massive premium for it. We also have to discuss his astute financial alliances. Remember his collaboration with Siminvest? That wasn't just a cute commercial, it was a signal. In 2026, V is likely a serious investor in the Southeast Asian fintech and tech unicorn scene, guided by his friendship with financial tycoons. He is parking his wealth in high-growth startups, meaning his money is making money at a rate that outpaces inflation by a marathon. His solo music career, with the jazz soul aesthetics of Layover and subsequent 2026 releases, targets a mature, affluent demographic that buys physical vinyls and high-ticket concert experiences in intimate, prestigious venues rather than just mass streaming. This prestige economy yields higher profit margins, and let's not ignore his art collection. V has been quietly buying pieces from modern masters. In 2026, his private home is essentially a museum, and the appreciation of these assets adds a hidden layer to his wealth that doesn't show up in tax returns but exists in net worth. He is the ultimate Renaissance man, rich in taste, rich in assets, and rich in cash. So, let's crunch the numbers. What is the price of the most handsome face in the world? In 2026, combining his acting premiums, his mega luxury retainers, his digital ad dominance, and his investment yields, V is generating a mind-numbing $4.85 to $5.50 every single second ***. Let's feel the weight of that. Tick, $5. Talk, $10. In the time it takes you to blink, he bought a coffee. In the time it takes you to read this paragraph, he has earned enough to fly first class to Paris. In the time it takes to watch a single episode of a drama, he has earned over $18,000. By the time he sleeps for 8 hours, he wakes up $144,000 richer. It is a wealth that feels almost effortless, born from a charisma so potent it defies market logic. He is the golden touch. He is the man who makes billions by being himself. And yet, he is number 2. He is the Silver King. How is it possible? How can there be someone wealthier than the man who rules Instagram and Celine? The answer is simple, yet terrifying. The man at number 1 has combined times everything times we have seen so far: the touring power of Suga, the luxury power of V, the pop ubiquity of the radio, and a global mass market appeal that rivals Michael Jackson in his prime. Number 1 isn't just a star. He is a planetary system. The gap is about to close, and we are about to witness the absolute zenith of K-pop wealth. Are you ready for the golden matinee? Number 1. Jungkook, the golden monarch, the pop titan who outsold the world, the living economy who makes history every time he breathes. Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived. We have climbed the mountain of wealth, waded through the rivers of royalties, and stared into the blinding light of luxury. But nothing, absolutely nothing, could prepare you for the financial singularity that sits at number 1. We are not just talking about a member of BTS anymore. We are talking about the king of pop for the modern century, the man who turned the entire music industry into his personal playground. The golden maknae himself, Jungkook. Why does he wear the crown? Why is he the undisputed emperor of earnings in 2026? Because Jungkook has achieved the holy grail of commercial success, universality. While other members dominate specific niches like high fashion or rap production, Jungkook has conquered times everything, times radio, streaming, touring, fashion, and mass market virality simultaneously. By 2026, his post-military comeback album hasn't just broken records, it has shattered the very concept of charts. We are talking about the Jungkook era, where his solo stadium tour, likely titled something massive like Eternity or The Golden Horizon, is the highest-grossing tour on the planet, surpassing even Western giants like Taylor Swift or The Weeknd. Every single night he steps onto a stage in 2026, he generates millions of dollars in ticket sales, merchandise, and live streaming rights. But let's look at the engine of his wealth: streaming. Jungkook is the stream king. In 2026, songs like 7, Standing Next to You, and his new 2026 anthems are generating passive income at a rate that is physically difficult to track. Every time a radio station plays his song in Brazil, every time a teenager streams him in India, every time his track is used in a TikTok trend in the US, the cash register rings. He is the most consumed Asian soloist in history, and in the digital age, consumption equals currency. Now, look at his brand power. His alliance with Calvin Klein has gone down in history as one of the most successful marketing campaigns ever. In 2026, he isn't just a model, he is likely a global partner with his own capsule collections, earning a royalty on every pair of jeans or underwear sold with his name attached. The Jungkook effect means that if he drinks a carton of chocolate milk during a live stream, the company's stock creates a bullish candle on the market graph. He doesn't just move product, he moves markets. We also have to discuss his real estate dominance. By 2026, the massive mansion he was building in the wealthy enclave of Itaewon has likely been completed, standing as a fortress of modern luxury, a tangible symbol of his empire. But unlike others who might invest quietly, Jungkook's wealth is loud because his reach is global. He appeals to the 12-year-old on TikTok and the 50-year-old radio listener. This four-quadrant appeal maximizes his earning potential beyond any other member. He is the face of the group, the voice of the generation, and the bank account of a billionaire. So, let's do the impossible math. Let's calculate the velocity of the golden maknae. In 2026, combining his record-breaking tour revenue, his endless stream of Spotify billions, his mega contracts with global brands, and his Hybe stock performance, Jungkook is generating an estimated $7.80 to $8.50 every single second. Stop, breathe, read that again. In the single second it took you to read John Jungkook, he earned nearly $9. In 1 minute, he earns over $500. In 1 hour, he earns $30,000. And here is the statistic that will haunt you. He earns enough to buy a brand new, fully loaded iPhone every 10 minutes. Imagine walking into an Apple store and buying a phone, then waiting 10 minutes and buying another one, then another one, and doing that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, forever. That is the reality of Jungkook's wallet. While you sleep, he earns the price of a car. While you watch a movie, he earns the price of a house deposit. He is a financial, perpetual motion machine. He started as the shy boy with big doe eyes at age 15, and he has evolved into a global titan who could likely finance a small country's debt just by releasing a remix. He is the summary of all the members' strengths, the performance of J-Hope, the charm of Jimin, the visuals of V, the rap flow of the Hyung line, all distilled into one unstoppable, money-printing human being. He is the golden maknae, and in 2026, he is not just number one. He is in a league of his own, sitting on a throne made of platinum records and black cards. The boy has become the king, and the king is rich beyond our wildest dreams. The empire of 7, beyond the billions, the legacy of blood, sweat, and tears. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the breathtaking, spine-chilling financial hierarchy of BTS in 2026. We have journeyed from the sophisticated passive wealth of Jin, earning enough for a coffee and a blink, to the absolute velocity of Jungkook, who can buy a new iPhone every 10 minutes without making a dent in his fortune. It is a spectrum of success that is almost impossible to comprehend. But before you click away, before you let these numbers fade into just statistics, take a moment to look at the bigger picture. Pause and rewind the clock. Strip away the billions, strip away the Hanam-dong penthouses, the Dior contracts, and the private jets. Go back to 2013. Go back to the 7 boys sleeping in one cramped room, eating cheap convenience store food, and handing out flyers for a free concert that nobody wanted to attend. The numbers we discussed today, the $8.50 per second, the millions per tour are not just currency, they are the crystallized result of the greatest underdog story in music history. These salaries are the receipts for the years of broken bodies, the sleepless nights, the mental battles, and the refusal to give up when the entire industry mocked them as dirt spoons. The terrifying beauty of this list isn't that they are rich. It's that they earned every single cent through pure, unadulterated talent and teamwork. While they may be ranked from 7 to 1-inch terms of liquid cash velocity, in the hearts of ARMY and in the history books, they stand on an equal line of greatness. The gap between Jungkook's viral billions and RM's intellectual millions is not a division, it is a harmony. It shows that there are 7 different ways to conquer the world. Whether you are the king of stocks like Jin or the king of pop like Jungkook, the destination is the same: legend status. So, the next time you stream Spring Day or buy a stick of butter, remember that you are participating in an economy built on love, resilience, and a bond that money, no matter how much of it there is, cannot buy. Who surprised you the most on this list? Did you expect the gap to be this wide? Or do you think the shadow producers are earning even more than we calculated? The world of Bangtan is ever expanding, and the numbers will only get crazier from here. Don't blink, because by the time you do, they've just made another million. This has been your deep dive into the vaults of 2026. If you want to keep up with the Titans, if you want to know who conquers the list next year, make sure you smash that subscribe button, like this video, and turn on the notification bell. We are watching the history of wealth be rewritten in real time. Until next time, keep streaming, keep dreaming, and remember the best is yet to come.